Splitting the database means you're going to have two databases. In other words, if I split this database, I'm going to have a front end and a back end. The back end is just going to contain the data or the tables, and that I can put on a server. The front end is going to be for the front end user, and it will contain the queries, forms, and reports, and they'll be linked to the second database that's going to be on the server or the back end. In other words, to these tables here, because of course they need to be able to pull the data that make up the queries, forms, and reports. Now the advantage of doing this or splitting the database is that the admin has only one copy to maintain and protect. So if he needs to update anything within the tables and make changes to it, if he does it on the back end because everybody's linked to it on the front end, it'll affect everybody simultaneously. Versus if he didn't split it, then he'd have to go to each user's workstation and be able to make changes, like for the customers table or the employees table, and that could take a lot of time. The disadvantage is that you've got to set it up to handle traffic correctly. So if a large number of users hit a table, there won't be bottlenecking and lock up the database because they're all trying to cram into that same table, the same record, the same field at the same time. And as far as security goes, the user is going to need read-write access to the tables, so thorough security measures must be set. Now to go ahead and split our database so I can show you what it looks like, I'm going to come up here, click on the Database Tools tab, go to the Move Data group and click on Access Database. Gives you a little description of what you're doing here, but we understand what we're doing. Click on Split Database. What it's going to do is it's going to split it, and you've got the front end, which is going to be the integration, the original name, and then you're going to have what's called the back end, and it'll be renamed. It'll be Integration BE for back end. All you need to do is just pick a spot where you want to split it, like on the network. In this case, I'll just go ahead and dump it in the exercise folder here and click Split. That's it. Click OK, and we're done. Now this may take a while depending upon the size of your database, so you want to be patient. When it's finished, I'm in the front end now, the original database name, integration. Notice over in the tables it's got these little arrows, and when I hover over it, you can see the little pop-up address. It's saying that this isn't a table, it's actually linking to a table in another database. What database? It's the integration _ BE for back end. Oh, as a side note, you want to create your switchboards, the training videos we just went over, after you split, because it's best that the switchboard table resides on the front end and not with the rest of the tables on the back end. Now you can open up these tables, double click to see the data within it on the front end. However, if you try to go to the design view by right clicking and go to design, it gives you a warning. It says, hey, you can't do this. You actually have to be in the original database, or the back end in this case, to be able to make changes to the fields, the properties, and so on. So I'll say no, I don't want to go to the design view. I'm going to go ahead and close out of here and close out of the database and open up the exercise folder. So there's the original front end database, and here's the back end. Double click and open up the back end here, and there it is. That looks kind of awful. Let me change the views here, clicking on the drop down arrow, and let's go to object by type so I can see all the tables. So that's all I've got here. It's just tables. And all the forms, the reports, they're on the front end. On the back end, just the tables, so I can just go ahead and make updates to the tables, and because everybody's linked to it, we're able to go ahead and affect everybody simultaneously and not have to go to their workstation, one workstation at a time, to make those changes. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.